As a mom to five kids and a wife to a very active husband, we've had our fair share of injuries. I remember this one time Zach came home with a 3-inch rusty nail stuck in his forearm. And if you stick around, I'll show you how we used a potato to heal that wound. So I remember a couple years ago, Zach called me and he was doing demolition work at the school and he had gotten a 3-inch rusty nail stuck in his forearm. And he came home, he had taken the nail out, and I could see really far into his arm. And there was a bunch of dirt and rust and stuff stuck in there. And so we decided to pray together about what to do, where to go, how to treat it, because we had learned that we didn't want to make fear based reactions. We didn't want to be led by the spirit of fear. We wanted to be led by the Holy Spirit. So we prayed and asked God, Lord, lead us in what we should do to help this healing process. Lead us in it. And then I felt him bring to my mind, why do people get a tetanus shot? Is this something that needs to be done? Because anytime that any injury involving rust has happened in my life, I've heard tetanus shot. I don't know about you, but that's pretty much all that I heard my life growing up. So he led me to the question, what is tetanus? And I was actually pretty surprised to find that tetanus is not caused by rust. It's caused from poop, a bacteria that is in horse manure most of the time. It can also be found in cows, sheep, goats, but most commonly it's horse manure. It's a bacteria that's found in horse manure. This nail was taken out of a clean box and put in the ceiling, so never touched the soil, was never in horse manure. So I felt pretty confident that we did not have to worry about a tetanus shot at that point. But I did look into it a little bit more because I was like, I guess I understand why this was once a concern. People used to farm a lot more. They used horses for farming. They used horses for travel, I think in early 1900s. So I just briefly looked into statistics because I was interested. In 1920, your chance of getting tetanus before a shot, when people were still farming, using horses for farming and travel, the chance of you getting tetanus was 0.0006. That's not that high. That's not that high. I can only imagine that now, when people are farming far less and using machines instead of horses for farming and not traveling by horses so much, that your chance of getting tetanus is even less than 0.0006. So I felt peace, Zach felt peace that that was not a route we needed to go. But it did make me ask the second question, which was, why is Google telling me I'm going to die from from not getting a tetanus shot while I'm trying to look into this? And I discovered, as was not really any surprise, that the same people who own Google are the same people who own the pharmaceuticals. So I wanted to share that in case you're new to this natural medicine journey. And I just wanted to throw a disclaimer out there. Your search engine, whatever search engine you're using, might be bent to pushing products that are going to make their shareholders money. So just be mindful of that whenever you're searching for information and make sure that your sources are reliable. So after crying about it and finding those things out, we did not feel like we needed to go to the doctor because we were pretty sure that all the doctor was going to say, just based on experience, past experience, was get a tetanus shot and also start a round of antibiotics just to make sure you don't get any infection. And you can look into the shot ingredients if you want to. That was not something we felt like putting into his body, but also the antibiotic. Antibiotics can wipe out good gut bacteria for up to 5 years. And that gut bacteria is what helps you fight off infections and diseases and things in the future. So we felt a lot of peace by just handling it here with God, and God led us to using a potato. So we cut a potato and we put a slice of potato on Zach's arm. We changed it 3 times a day, and he slept with it on. And that potato slice drew out all of that rust, all of that dirt, all any bacteria that was in there, and it healed his arm beautifully. And we have gone on to use potatoes for so many things. If our kids get a deep splinter and we just can't get to it, we put a potato on there, we wrap it up. and it will draw that splinter to the surface. And then we might leave it on another day or two after we get the splinter out, just to help get out any extra dirt that might have gotten in there with a splinter. We've also used it on our animals. Our cat had a couple abscesses on her abdomen, and they kept sealing and refilling and getting infected. So we put potato on there, and it drained those abscesses and cleared that infection in 2 days. We left it on for 4 days just to help healing and make sure that everything was going well. But after 2 days, those abscesses were completely drained and looked so much healthier than they did the week before, when they were just constantly resealing and reinfecting. And it was just a mess because we couldn't get them to completely drain. So we have been led to use potatoes in healing ourselves and our animals many times. And I just wanted to take a minute to show you how we do that. Okay, so Calliope is going to cut our potato slice. You don't want it to be so thin that it dries out quickly, or too thick that it won't stay on. So keep that in mind as you cut your potato. Then she's going to put the potato on the wound and wrap it. We change this out about 3 times a day, usually breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we'll keep the potato on for the night and then change it again in the morning. This wrap is really nice because you don't have to use any adhesive tape. It just sticks to itself, so we can link that below. And that's all that there is to a potato poultice.